Good evening. It's John again. I'm going to play a game of Immaculate Grid. Coming off a strong showing yesterday. I think I was sub nine. And I threw out a guess for what was it? Royals and Red Sox. It wasn't a total guess. I knew Ray Sanchez had played for the Royals, and I kind of thought he played for the Red Sox, and I was right about that. Also works for the Cubs. Also works for the Braves. So I'll keep that one in my back pocket. Let's play again today. It's Friday. Maybe I'll get another one in this weekend. I still have to finish up my taxes and do some other stuff. And my job isn't keeping me at nine to five Monday through Friday. I'll just say that much. But we'll see if I can get some other videos out there. Let's start sharing. There's the screen share. This is the rarity round. We're going to do the timed round first. Throw it down. One thing I noticed was one of my favorite content creators, Jaguar Gator 9, or he's Jaguar Gator 9 when he's doing the NFL. He's Jaguar Gator 8 when he's doing college football. And he's Jaguar Gator 7 with baseball. I've noticed that he does a timed round, I think every morning at 6, which is kind of cool. I think that requires a discipline that I don't have. He does it for football. Because that's his stronger suit. But he's very knowledgeable about baseball too. He makes some great videos about events in baseball history. It's always it tends to be like random oddities centered around a game or a telecast sometimes, a general event, an off the field incident. But it's usually stuff I haven't heard about, which is kind of cool because I'm pretty into obscure things about sports, especially baseball and also football. And man, he seems to find stuff I've never heard about. So it's pretty neat. Anyway, great content creator. If you want to get up at 6 in the morning and do the football one of these, he's looks like he's doing it over there. At least that's what I ascertained from Twitter this morning. I also had to be careful because I have to not look at the baseball. I have to zip by it if I happen to be on Twitter that early in the morning because they update the grid at 6 a.m. Anyway, that was kind of a long preamble. I don't know if that was necessary. One of these days I'll edit these videos, but today's not that day. Hitting refresh, hitting play. Let's go. Let's play. All right. That's Joe Carter. I had to think about that one. Um Cubs and Mets. I don't know. Cubs and Rangers, Rafael Palmeiro. Let's go Lance Johnson. Just thought of that. All right. Let's see. Make sure we don't shut ourselves out, but I think if I go Gaylord Perry, Tom Seaver, and Nolan Ryan, that should be fine. And then 300 for a season. Let's go Kane Lofton, who retweeted me. Or I think he just liked a tweet actually. Edgardo Alfonso. Right? And then one gone. 58 seconds. All right. Big rarity score. 158. No huge surprises on. I mean, these were all single digits at least. Just Joe Carter there. 1% on Lance Johnson. He was traded from the Mets. I've talked about his 96 season before. I think it was a Jolly Olive video that talked about his awesome 96 season, along with Bernard Gilkey. But the very next year, after having a 220 hit, 20 triple, 333 average in 1996, he was flipped over to the Chicago Cubs. But he never had a season again like 96. I don't even know if he had a full season after that. Palmeiro taking 9%. I've got his rookie card with the Cubs up that way. Not a big power hitter with the Cubs. Became a little bit more of a power hitter right around the same time he and Juan Gon were playing with Jose Canseco. Funny how that works. All right. I'm not speculating on anything. Please don't sue me, gentlemen. All right, cool. I'm going to stop share. Got in under a minute, so that was good. Get that one. This is the incognito mode with the random advertisements for Cisco, I guess. Getting a Germany Schaefer in here. There we go. Let's get start. This is a Frank Thomas combo. 1990. Sorry, that was close. Not that Frank Thomas. Let's see. And who could be obscure? Mike Morgan, maybe for the Cubs and the Rangers. Um, I want to say Jim Sundberg works. Not 100% on that one. Todd Zeal will work. Is he more obscure than Mike Morgan? Mike Morgan bounced around a lot. Jamie Moyer is also going to work. Um, Ferguson Jenkins, Fergie Jenkins would have worked. That's probably going to be at least 15%, I would think. Um, Seal. This is not Notice Nixon combo. This is a Kenny Lofton combo. Would Lofton be more obscure than Todd Zeal? Did Sparky Lyle ever play for the Cubs? I don't think he did. Gossage would work as well. I'm gonna go Zeal though. All right. Less than one. I will not get the ghost score today, but I think that was more or less eliminated from the start with 3,000 strikeouts. Um 3,000 strikeouts is a very narrow category. And let's see, did I go Gaylord Perry, Tom Seaver, Nolan Ryan? So let me do 300 average and then we'll talk through it because there's only going to be a handful of options. So I don't think I need to reuse anybody, but um, we'll just keep that back. This is season batting average, right? So let's go with our. I don't think I have a really low one for the Rangers or Mets. I'm trying to was Jeff Zimmerman, was he? I don't think he was. Trying to remember. Mike Stanton played for the Mets, but I don't know if that's where he went 1 for 2. For Cleveland, who's my guy? I want to say Ginger because they're red. Ginger Clark. That was my guy. All right. One with a pretty low one, I think, with Edgardo Alfonso. Robin Ventura, I think hit like 301 in 1999. Um, I don't think I have anyone super obscure saved up for the Mets. I'm trying to remember who my only one team guy was. I'm not coming up with that either. I think Ventura is in the lead so far. Gilkey will work. Maybe Gilkey. For that 1996 season. Um, Richie Ashburn will work for the 1962 season. Um, which is, I mean, when you hit 320 for a team that loses 120 games, it's a pretty out there feat. Um, but I mean, long story short, I don't have I'm not thinking of a guy that is like 1 for 2 in his career. Only playing for the Mets the way I do with some of these other guys. Do you remember if Roger Cedeno was a 300 hitter? The year he stole a whole bunch of bases, I think 1999. Um, obviously Piazza works. Olerud will work. I think I'm gonna go with Gilkey. Okay, go sub 1. Decent. And 300 average from the Rangers. And again, I don't know that I have anyone super obscure here. I want to say I had a Senator at one point, but I'm not remembering that one. I haven't looked at those guys that I had looked up a while ago. I just did a stat head search basically, and it was like guys with fewer than 20 at bats and a 300 average. And I was able to, pinpoint the ones that only played for one team, which is most of them. A lot of guys in the 90s though. I mean, Will Clark will work. I want to say Lee Stevens will work. That might be a pretty obscure one. 97, I think Lee Stevens had a 300 average. Billy Ripken was, and I don't think he was ever a 300 hitter. A-Rod, of course, will work. Josh Hamilton works. I did Wangan. Ruben Sierra, Julio Franco will both work. I think Ian Kinsler works for 1 year. Napoli works. Michael Young works a ton of times. Adrian Beltre works several times. Rusty Greer. This might be greedy, but I'm going to go for Lee Stevens. I think he did it 1 year, and I think it was 97. Woo! I was right, and it was .02. All right. So now for Cleveland, I might have gone as low as I was going to go with Gaylord Perry. The other options include Burt Blyleven, but Blyleven also works for Texas. Nolan Ryan works for the Mets, as do Scherzer and Verlander. Scherzer works for the Rangers. So let's see, for Cleveland, I don't, did Cy Young get to 3,000? I don't think he did, actually. Walter Johnson was the all-time strikeout leader for a very long time. I think, I don't actually know if, I think Nolan Ryan just straight up passed him. I don't know if there was another all-time strikeout leader in between Walter Johnson and Nolan Ryan. I don't think Steve Carlton. Yeah, Steve Carlton. There's no way he would have. Yeah, but Steve Carlton works for Cleveland. He was on the '87 team. I wrote about it in my book. So did Phil Niekro. Both were on the '87 team. So between those things and wanting to kind of save Blyleven for down there, I think I'm gonna go with Niekro. Maybe Carlton was going to be better. And am I missing anyone else? We got Nolan Ryan. I think we resolved that he was the highest. It seems like due to recency, Scherzer is going to be a slam dunk number 2, of course, but of course he also works over here. And then Blyleven also works. Gaylord Perry never played for Texas, right? I don't think so. Gossage played, not Perry. It's not like there were a ton of people lining up to get shelled in Texas in the 90s. It's not like Kevin Millwood works or something like that. I'm gonna go Blyleven. Takes 2%. So now we're stuck on the Mets. We're not stuck. We could go with Scherzer or Verlander. Seaver was right at 50%. And Nolan Ryan also works. Just the fact Seaver was at, so if Seaver was at 50, Nolan Ryan was at like 64% for the Rangers. I wonder if that means that like 36% of people or so picked him for the Mets. Who else besides Scherzer and Verlander, though? Pedro. Pedro works. Anyone else? I'm gonna go Pedro. 15%. So rarity score of 25. 555 across the board. So yeah, that's an interesting one. Just for kicks and giggles, I'm gonna bring up Microsoft Edge here. I guess I'm not sharing that right now, am I? So many monitors. All right. Just for kicks and giggles, let's say we went a different way, just because we can, and we now know it's 555. So if we go Steve Carlton here, also 7%. I'm not gonna do the whole thing. Oh wait, now I have to I have to open a new incognito window because I didn't take this. The whole reason I have Edge here is to do the screenshot at the end of these videos. I just remembered. That's why I don't usually do this. Um, what? So Pedro's at 15, and we got Seaver. Let's see what Nolan Ryan gets. He actually gets 13. And that probably leaves Scherzer and Verlander just splitting the rest roughly equally because they both barely played for the Mets this past season. So what is that? 28 plus what Seaver was at 50? So that's 11 each. Maybe I guess because they split the difference, it would have been better to go with one of them. And just for fun, 21% for Scherzer. All right. Well, I got to figure out something to do over there to make the screenshot, but I think we'll call it there. 25 is still a good score, and I think it's about as good a score as I was going to do with those guys. I guess I could have eked out a couple points. Jeff will tell us the right answer here in the comments. Anyway, you all have a great rest of your night, and we'll be back at it tomorrow. Peace.